So there I was, scrolling through my phone, when I stumbled across the Chilean Primera División, the top flight of Chilean football. And the thing that fascinated me the most was the fact that so many clubs don't have particularly Spanish speaking names. The likes of O'Higgins, Audax Italiano, and even bloody Everton.
What are you doing here? And not in a racist way.
But I don't know how these teams got there, but there was one team above all that piqued my interest, and that was Club Palestino. As the name suggests, Club Palestino is a football club that was founded by Palestinians who moved to Chile in the early 1900s. Outside of the Middle East, Chile calls home to more Palestinians than any other country in the entire world. So like you, I had plenty of questions. Firstly, how does this happen? Also, who are Club Palestino? And how does a Palestinian-inspired football team fare in Chilean football? So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this fascinating story together. The story of Palestino starts long before the club itself. Palestinian migration to Chile started as early as the 1800s after the Crimean War, but waves of Palestinians followed them after World War One and in 1948 after the horrific Nakba. Beyond the fact that Chile and Palestine have always had strong relations, I couldn't find a clear-cut reason as to why Palestinians chose Chile as a place to go to and not other places in South America, Latin America, Asia, or Europe. So if you do know that bit of information, please let me know down below. Nevertheless, whilst many Palestinians sought a new life around other countries in the Middle East, up to 500,000 Palestinians chose Chile as a place to set up a new life. Once settled, they built businesses, particularly in the textile industry, trying to integrate with the Chilean society whilst also bringing a bit of themselves to the country. Despite facing severe racism, Palestinians have carved out a life for themselves, and they've played a massive role in shaping modern-day Chile. Among the traditions carried with them, in 1920 they created their own football team, Club Palestino, to reside in the southern part of Santiago. But this was not just any ordinary team. The club's ethos from the very beginning was not just a team, but an entire people. The club's identity is unmistakably Palestinian, from the red, green, white, and red, all in the colours of the club, to the Palestine flag that is represented in its badge. Their reach even extends to the Middle East, with Al Jazeera broadcasting their games for fans thousands of miles away back in the Middle East. On the pitch, Club Palestino have had their glory. After joining the professional ranks in 1952, the club quickly rose to the top flight and they won their first Chilean Primera División in 1955 and then managed to repeat that feat back in 1978. Those triumphs were so significant that Palestinians around the world were seeing it as a win for their own. Whilst league success eludes them, Club Palestino remains a force in Chilean football. They have a handful of runners-up stories, but most importantly, they are 3 times Copa Chile champions. Most recently in 2018, their triumph was so significant that the Palestinian Authority president, Mahmoud Abbas, personally wrote to the club to congratulate them. Calling their success a victory for Palestinian people, relations between Palestine and the club have grown stronger and stronger. On a continental stage, they have participated in the Copa Libertadores 7 times and featured in it in the last season just gone, where they recorded a historic 1-0 win over Brazilian giants Flamengo. Their best run was in 1979, where they reached the semi-finals of South America's grandest competition, but in 2016 they also managed to reach the quarterfinals of the Copa Sudamericana, once again receiving letters from Palestine's authority president. To fully appreciate Palestino's role in Chilean football, we need to have a quick look at Chilean football itself. The system is dominated by 3 teams, Colo-Colo, Universidad Católica, and Universidad de Chile, whom have won 68 titles between them, and no other side has managed to win a title since 2015. Like Palestino, there are quite a few clubs in Chile that have roots to immigrant communities. From Audax Italiano, Lota Schwager, and Unión Española are some of the examples of some of the prime clubs that make up Chilean football with those immigrant backgrounds. But what makes Palestino unique isn't just that it goes beyond the borders of Chile, but the fact that they've had such a significant role in the geopolitics of the country. Palestino's influence in Chile hasn't just shaped football, but it's also influenced national recognition of Palestine. In 2011, Chile became one of the first Latin American countries to officially recognize Palestine as an independent state. The Palestinian diaspora have played a massive role in shaping Chile's policy with Palestine, bridging two political divides. Even in 1947, Chile abstained from the UN vote to partition Palestine, so this decision has gone from all the way from 1947 all the way to 2011 and probably beyond. Palestino itself has managed to foster good relations with Palestinian politicians and football fans alike. In 2003, Yasser Arafat, the state president of Palestine, wrote a personal letter. So this has been going on for a while, that presidents of Palestine have written letters to the club. But this time in 2003, it was to express support from the Gaza Strip to financially support the club as they were struggling themselves. Since 2010, the club's largest support financially has been the Bank of Palestine, aiming to strengthen relations between the club and the people of Palestine. As part of these efforts, the bank sponsored a tour of the West Bank for Palestino's youth team in 2013, reinforcing the club's deep-rooted connection to its homeland. While the club enjoys widespread support, it hasn't come without its controversies. In 2014, Palestino designed its shirt numbers to replace the number 1 with the former map of Palestine as it did exist before 1948, a clear political move. This move sparked mass outrage from Chile's Jewish community, with protests leading to fines for the club by the Chilean FA. Despite the backlash, the club continues to wear Palestinian symbols with pride. Even within the stadium, political expression remains a struggle. When Palestino play at their home ground, Estadio Municipal La Cisterna, Palestine flags are a common sight in the stands. Remarkably, it's not just their own fans coming with the flags, but also those from Colo Colo, Audax Italiano, Universidad Católica are prime supporters of this, and they bring Palestine flags of their own in solidarity of the cause. And it's not just Palestinians and Chileans that have taken an interest in the club. In 2024, the club released a special kit with an unlikely badge on it. Glasgow Celtic have always shown their support to Palestine, and it was a gesture of appreciation for Palestino to feature their badge on the kit. Celtic fans are known for bringing their banners and their flags to stadiums, and when they did so in 2016 in a Champions League tie against Atletico Madrid, UEFA even fined them for doing so. Even clubs like Galatasaray and PSG have done something similar in recent times, but we're still waiting to see if UEFA are going to penalise them in the same way they did to Celtic. The connections between Celtic and Palestino are much deeper than what anyone would have thought. Celtic are a Scottish club, but many people believe that they represent Ireland in the same way that Palestino play in Chile and have very Chilean morals, but they represent Palestine. Despite holding only 8,000 people, La Cisterna is more than just a home for football, but it's a home for this hope and belief for a better time for Palestinian people all across the world. In many ways, Palestino is bigger than the national team itself, and Palestinians around the world root for this team all the way over in Chile as if it was their own. Club Palestino is more than just a football club. It's a symbol, a representation and a movement all in one to represent an entire people's struggle and resilience. Whether they're winning titles or just simply existing, their reach stretches far beyond the city of Santiago. So the next time you're scrolling through the Chilean Primera División like I was, take a look at Club Palestino, because they are far more than just a football club. Yes, guys, a massive thank you if you're still watching the video until this point. And if you don't know, we are aiming for 500 subscribers. If you can, hit that subscribe button so we can continue making content like this. And the bigger part of this video is all about Palestine. If you do have any money this month, then consider donating to a charity helping Palestinians all around the world. The main topic of this video is about Palestinians who have been removed, sort of kicked out of their own place and moved all around the world, even as far as Chile. So like I say, if you can donate, then please do. I'll put a link in my subscription or down in the description, not subscription, in the description. So if you can donate, then please do. But until next time, peace out.